Cent'anni, bonjour, and welcome to the next Godfather Minute. My name is Alex Robinson.
And I'm Andy Robinson.
And together we make up the entity known collectively as the Godfather Minute Brothers
Incorporated.
And we're here to talk about minute 134 of The Godfather. Minute 134, if you're keeping track at home.
Alex, please repeat after me.
Yes.
E minuto.
Numero. 134.
You got it.
You got it.
That's it.
That's it.
Hi, I'm being so dumb.
You are.
Oh, you're supposed to repeat it.
So
juvenile. Juvenile. I could see Santino and like Mikey play, or I guess Fredo playing that, right?
Minute 134. It's the Don and Tom Hagen are in the car driving back home after the successful. This is sort of a post. This is the epilogue to the meeting of the six families.
Yeah.
The Don says that Barzini will know that the new drug hires should have clean records. He doesn't have to be told that. But Tom attempts to correct him. But Don reveals that Tattaglia is a pimp. And not only just a pimp, but a pimp who never could have outfought Santino.
Yeah.
And it turns out that it was Tattaglia all along.
No, it was Barzini. You got it backwards. It was Barzini all along.
It was Barzini all along. Later,
it'd be great if Rocco then, as the chauffeur, turns out and says, "No, it was Cuneo all along." They're all one step behind each other.
So later in New England, Mikey has returned to America and reveals himself to Kay Adams, who I'm not sure what the relationship is with those her children.
Yeah, she's a school teacher.
Oh, so they're like school kids. I thought they were like her family.
Oh.
Like she had like 8 kids.
She could never have a family that big.
So, that's what's going on. Mikey back in the USA.
The Corleone girls are hit by, got struck by the thunderbolt.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
About the whole 5 families thing. So he says, well, I didn't realize until today it was Barzini all along. So does that mean he always suspected someone else was behind it and just didn't know? Or didn't know who it was? Or had he always just assumed it was Tattaglia?
It's hard to say. It's a really good question.
Because this makes it sound like he's like, he never could have outfought a Santino, so therefore it put doubt in my mind that he was the one behind it.
He was the one behind it, yeah.
And then so the meeting kind of confirmed that.
And Puzo in the book really pumps up how brilliant Don Corleone is. So I would believe that he always suspected it, because you're right. He would have known from the beginning that Tattaglia couldn't have outfought Santino.
Right. Well, and
so
I guess
always suspected it.
Oh yeah. So if Santino was still alive, then he might be like, well, it's probably still Tattaglia. Tattaglia hasn't done anything that a pimp couldn't do.
when he says, no, Tattaglia's a pimp.
Tattaglia's a pimp.
Is he just insulting him? Or is he saying that in the role of a pimp is not one? It sort of confused me, because the role of a pimp in that pimp prostitute relationship is the one who's pulling the strings.
Right.
Like, no one is really pulling the pimp strings. That's what makes a person a pimp.
Well, I think there is. I think it's a combination of things. There is some degree of value judgment in it. Tattaglia's a pimp.
Yeah. Low class.
Yeah, but I also think even in terms of like respect, pimps are, as you correctly point out, pimps are typically the ones pulling the strings, but they're only pulling strings over women who are not like, it's not like you're a capo regime or something, because women can afford to be careless. Men can't. So, It's probably like one step above a farmer, a pimp.
Oh wow! It's like he's a love farmer.
He's a love farmer. That's all he is.
Tattaglia, do you pull the strings of all the girls that you work for you?
I need assurances that yes, I do.
Good, because a pimp who doesn't pull the strings of all the girls who work for him can never be a real
never
pimp.
a real pimp. Why aren't you making comedy with those girls out there? Because he wants to, because he's a pimp. So Tattaglia's like always encouraging his sons to go out there and horn dog around.
Yeah. Yeah, it's odd when I think about it that Bruno never went into that business, that he ended up going into magic.
Well, it's like you. That's you. I want you to be Professor Coley. I want you to be Professor Tattaglia, the great Tattaglia.
Wait, why is Don Corleone telling
No,
that?
I'm sorry. That should be.
Kids?
You're right. It should be Tattaglia. I wanted you to be the wizard Tattaglia, or the great Tattaglia the mysterious.
Yeah. There just wasn't enough time. You only made it to level 2 illusionist. I need assurances that when you get to level 4, you will choose the fireball spell.
Well, this is D&D stats. You got to save that for the bonus content.
Speaking of D&D, I have kind of an update from last minute. As I was listening back to last minute, you asked me when Mikey, in what minute does Mikey go to Vegas?
Yes.
So we're in minute 134 right now. You want to take a guess?
150.
141.
Whoa, we're almost there.
7 minutes, 7 minutes.
Oh my God, you gotta start working on the next one.
I know. I was sort of scared to reveal it.
Well,
I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it in time.
Come on. What kind of talk is that?
Come on, that's 7 weeks.
You know what you can do?
What?
You can act like a man.
Oh my gosh. 7 weeks to come up with it. And each one's got to be better than the next. The Mo Green song's pretty darn good.
The Beatles recorded Please Please Me in one day. You can write.
Did. Yeah. Sure they did.
Maybe you just need help. So oh my gosh. Well, play the song then, because we only got a couple more runs at
let's
it.
do it. Alex, don't you talk to a man like Mo Green like that.
I'm going out to Vegas to learn the casino games. Mo Green gonna show me all he knows how the money's made. Oh, he's my friend, straightens me out again and again. Sure, he's skinning off the top, but that's what Pop would do. Don't you talk to a man like Mo Green like that. When you're in Vegas, he built this town and there isn't even a black. Not in Vegas, no black in Vegas. Going all his friends make me like my family. I talk to Johnny Ola, I talk to Barzini. Most credit is just fine. Let's have a drink to have time. More respect me says I'm smart and I can handle things. Don't you talk to a man like Mo Green like that. When you're in Vegas, he built this town and there isn't even a black. No black in Vegas. How's your credit? Don't you talk to a man like Mo Green like that. When you're in Vegas, he built this town and there isn't even a plaque. No plaque in Vegas, nor a statue. Don't you talk to a man like Mo Green like that. When you're in Vegas, he built this town and there isn't even a plaque. Not in Vegas, no plaque in Vegas. Don't you talk to a man to a man like Maureen, like that.
All right, gonna miss that one.
7 minutes. So, don't we need feedback from the fans about what we should be counting down to?
I will look to see what the next couple of highlights are that are in the next 5 minutes or so.
Oh my gosh.
And then
7 weeks.
5 minutes of within the Mo Green, not 5 minutes from now. So like by minute 46, something by minute 146.
Maybe here's some ideas. Maybe Tessio pleading with Tom for the sake of old times.
I don't know. That's a little towards the end.
But we're almost at the end of the movie.
Well, I was thinking more about like the scene with the, like you could have sent a Corleone or Funny Papers.
okay.
Funny Papers is such a thing on our show that it seems like it would be a shame.
I would want to do maybe like an old timey piano song because it's Tessio, the previous generation. And now you, I cannot hang my hat. So like the Paul McCartney old timey songs.
Yeah.
When I hang my hat.
So then we can count down to that line, the line where he says, there's nowhere in Brooklyn to hang my hat.
Well, let's hear what the fans have to say.
Okay, yeah. So anyway,
maybe Carlo Rizzi admitting that it was Barzini.
That's like how about the door closing at the when Kay looks in and the door closes.
Oh my god.
Okay, so we'll get to work on that, and so everyone go to the Patreon page and check out what the entries are for the next round.
I have one more callback. Is that what they call it when you're referencing an old conversation or old minute?
Yeah.
Okay, in the previous minute when Don Corleone stands and you pointed out that it reminded you of Airplane, the movie Airplane, because there was a painting behind him that looked the same. I went back and watched that minute and I noticed, I couldn't believe I didn't notice this before, when he's giving that now famous speech where he talks about Cosa Nostra. There's a crown of lights behind his head.
What?
So there are lights on the wall.
Yeah.
It's a light fixture on the wall of this room, and it's maybe 4 to 6 bulbs all separate. And he happens to be standing right kind of in the middle. It literally looks like
a halo,
like
around
a
his
crown.
head?
Yeah,
oh
halo,
my gosh!
Which
you
is
check that out.
Oh, you gotta go. Promise me you'll go back and watch it.
And that's also the
It is
minute.
brilliant.
That's also the minute where he grabs Tattaglia's hands and starts flopping him around, right? So it's definitely worth the trip to go back and find that minute. Oh, you got to remind me. Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Good stuff. Good stuff in the previous minute. So I have a bunch of things from the book. Do you have anything else you want to bring up? Kay? Anything about Kay?
The only thing I have is this scene was shot in Mill Valley, California.
Oh, really?
And it was shot. It was one of the last things shot. It was shot
Kay
long
and
after
Mikey. That part.
That reunion. So it's especially funny that she's like, "When did you get back?" Like I totally forgot I was in this movie.
If they shot it in California, do you think Waltz was involved in the production?
Like under the protection of the Molinari family.
Do you think Hagen, way back when he said Waltz's leading man was moving from marijuana to heroin, was he referring to Al Pacino? Because he's now acting in this scene.
In the leading man.
Yeah.
But he he played a heroin addict in the Panic at Needle Park. So it's like he's going from heroin to marijuana.
Yeah. I watched that.
Oh yeah,
a few weeks ago.
We'll talk about the bonus.
Yeah, we already talked about it a few months ago.
Okay.
Yeah. I just really liked it.
Oh,
I love that style.
Okay, yeah.
That 70s film style, sort of improvised. Great stuff.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Quality stuff. Mm-hmm. So that's about all I have for notes. Because I know you said you had a bunch of stuff from the movie.
Some interesting stuff.
So I'll just sit back here and relax while you take it away.
So Puzo writes many scenes that are not in the movie, and one of which is how they tried to get Mikey back into the country. Because you remember from the previous minute, they're very worried.
You said it took about a year to get him back in.
Nearly another year.
Sheesh.
That's right.
It's just 3 or 4 more seasons.
And they were really worried that the police were going to be the ones to plant evidence or to shoot him because
false evidence.
Of course, yeah. This is all just as backup. So, do you remember the Bociccio family, Alex?
They were the negotiators.
That's right.
They're kind of like the negotiators.
Yeah. Do you remember what the outstanding features of that family?
Well, they were like pathological about revenge and killing.
That's right.
And they were, because they would laying their own family on the line for the sake that's their
fiercely loyal.
Yes, there you go.
And brutal
Yes.
when it comes to loyalty and vendetta.
And terrible pinochle players.
Well, that's why they let him win. So there was one Bociccio family member.
They're more like professional hostages than negotiators.
Yeah,
It doesn't sound like Bociccio was the one like actually like doing what's that called? Where you have a professional person come in, a mediation, like professional.
Oh no,
mediation.
They're strictly they're assurance people.
Right.
They're in the assurance business.
Let's mention that when we do the commercial.
Maybe that's what the low budget commercial will be. It'll be the Bociccios. So there is one Bociccio family member named Felix Bociccio.
Felix? That does not sound like a...
Felix. Yeah, it's probably
Felix.
Felix. Probably I know it's a Spanish name, probably an Italian name too. Well, when he was in New York, he didn't want to get into the family business, which is very odd for the Bociccios because they were such a tight clan.
Yeah, they're almost primitive in there.
Yeah, exactly. That's how Puzo describes it. Let's see. So Puzo writes, during that whole year, the Corleone family racked their brains for suitable schemes. Even Carlo Rizzi was listened to now that he was living in the mall with Connie. During that time, they had a second child, a boy, by the way. But none of the schemes met with the Don's approval until Hagen brought the case of Felix Bociccio to Don Corleone.
Hold on. I'm distracted. So they have... Because last week we talked about all the Corleone grandchildren.
Yeah.
And this is their second child?
This might be their... They don't have it... This is probably their first child, the one that Connie just gave birth to after the... Oh, maybe the order is different in the movie then. Because you're right, the christening happens later on.
Right. And their first son we know is Victor.
Yeah.
Or he's the oldest son anyway.
Not sure. We'll have to look it up on the wiki. So Felix Bociccio did not get into the Bociccio family business. Mm-hmm. Instead, he went to school at night to become a lawyer and worked during the day as a civil service post office clerk.
What's next? A communist? An anarchist?
That's my best group laugh imitation. And he got his law degree.
Oh, good for him.
He did everything by the books, but there's one scheme that one of his colleagues, lawyer friend, cooked up. Mm-hmm. It was a very complicated, seemingly legal scheme, and had to do with a bankruptcy fraud. It was a 1,000,000 to 1 shot against its being found out. And Felix Bociccio took the chance. So he was an honest guy. And this is a 1 in a million thing. And technically it was illegal to do. And Puzo doesn't go into it. But long story short, Felix Bociccio, you busted.
Oh.
Yeah, it was actually his friend, his colleague that got busted and ratted on Felix Bociccio. So Felix ended up taking the fall for it.
What happened to the rat? Seems like that's not a family you'd want to rat someone out in.
Yeah, well, he has no. Felix Bociccio is not tight with his clan. He's completely sort of disavowed.
Oh, so it's not like he's.
He doesn't work for.
He's
the
not like Mikey, where he's a civilian. He's like out. He's like outcast.
He's an outcast. He ran for cover.
He's the hunted one.
He's like Bonacera.
How so? He's a mustache?
Well, no. He believed in the American system. He did not hang with the hoods until he really needed to. But either way, he's completely illegal except for this one thing. He gets busted. Testimony was given that linked Felix with uncles and cousins in the Bociccio clan who had criminal records for strong arm, and this evidence was damning. Okay, so his colleague ratted him out and said to the authorities, hey, you got to believe me because Felix has this background with this family. And so he kind of got busted just through association, even though he has no ties to the Bociccio family.
But he still did the illegal
act. Did, yeah. But he's basically clean cut.
But again, I would think even with the Bociccios, even if he was in exile, the Bociccios would want
Puzo is very clear that he has severed all the ties with the Bocciccio family. They've tried to get him connected to the family, but he refuses. He's outcast. He has no connection to them.
So they're not like, well, this guy got arrested and he might turn on the rest of the family. They're willing to take the chance of him.
Well, he has no connection to the family. There's nothing he can turn on the family. He's not involved in a business.
But he grew up,
Sure, but this has been years that he's...
So that's, so they're not worried at all. They're like, he doesn't know anything.
They're not worried at all.
Got it.
And so Felix Bocciccio was given a sentence of 1 to 5 years and served 3 of them. And then he got out of jail.
White collar crime.
Yeah. He was released from prison after serving 3 years, went home and kissed his wife and 3 children and lived peacefully for a year. And then showed that he was of the Bocciccio clan after all. Without any attempt to conceal his guilt, he procured a weapon, a pistol, and shot his lawyer friend to death.
Oh, that's the guy who ratted him out, or the guy who got him?
The guy who ratted him out.
Okay.
Guy who ratted him out.
Yeah.
His business partner, whose scheme it was.
Yeah.
Felix then searched out the 2 businessmen and calmly shot them both through the head as they came out of a luncheonette.
Wow.
He left the bodies lying in the street and went into the luncheonette and ordered a cup of coffee, which he drank while he waited for the police to come and arrest him. So I think that's just so cool how it's almost like in his nature to do that. So to wrap up this story,
how does this connect to this?
So Felix Bocciccio was sentenced to death, and while he's on death row, the Bocciccio clan goes to Don Corleone and says, "Hey, could you please get him off? After all, he is our. Even though he's
that doesn't sound like Don Corleone."
No. The Bocciccios go to Don Corleone.
Oh, and ask Don Corleone if he can get.
And they say, "Hey, Felix is on death row."
Okay, so now they're suddenly fighting for him.
Well, I mean, in the end, they're very loyal.
But they weren't loyal to him when he was rotting in jail for 3 years.
Well, what could they have done?
Gotten him out of jail.
Who?
The son.
Oh, yeah, I guess death row is a whole different level of punishment. So they go to him and they say, "Man, you're like Tom Hagen. You're just tearing this up." And so they say, "Don Corleone, please."
Or is it now that he's proven that he's a Bocciccio and murdered
That must
somebody?
be
They're
it.
like, "Hey, you know what? We can't turn him down."
Yeah, that must be it.
Yeah.
And so they said, "Don Corleone, please."
Don Corleone. Don Corleone.
Felix Bocciccio is going to die. Felix is going to die in an electric chair. And he says, "Can you get him off the hook for old time's sake?" Don Corleone curtly refused. He was not a magician. People asked him the impossible.
He's not a magician. He's like,
"You need to go see Bruno Tattaglia." "Oh, wait a minute. We had him killed. Sorry." But as you may be able to start to piece this together, Don Corleone eventually called Hagen in and said, "Hey, let's do this deal." So they offered the Bocciccios. They said, "We can't get him off death row. It's just too high profile.
He might not even be in the car.
He might not even be in the electric chair. You might not even be in that electric chair, Sonny. It might be a different death row." Don Corleone guaranteed to the head of the Bocciccio clan that the wife and children of Felix would be rewarded with a handsome pension. And the money for this would be handed over to the Bocciccio clan immediately. In turn,
he would claim that he killed McCluskey in the toik.
Now you're thinking like the Don, Alex. Felix must confess to the murder of Sollozzo and the police captain McCluskey. And so that's what they did. Puzo writes, "Finally, the plan was sprung, and the confession made headlines in all the newspapers. The whole thing was a huge success. But Don Corleone, cautious as always, waited until Felix Bocciccio was actually executed 4 months later before finally giving the command that Michael Corleone could return home."
It just goes to show you how different times were then, that you could get a death sentence and only 4 months later it would be carried out, as opposed to like years and years of appeals.
That's your takeaway from the story, the inefficiency of the modern justice system. It's not that all these deals were made and
no, deals are always made. I mean, come on. Now who's being naive, okay?
Alex, you're so naive. It doesn't take more than 4 months to have someone put to death.
I mean, unless I guess maybe the Don rushed through, with his contacts.
What do you mean?
Maybe he normally there would be a lot of appeals, but the Don said to all the judges and to congressmen, listen, let's fast track this one.
Oh yeah, they didn't write that, but I believe that.
Have you ever heard the killer Gary Gilmore?
No.
Gary Gilmore was I killed somebody in Utah, which had the death penalty at the time, and he was found guilty. Mm-hmm. And when he was found guilty, the thing he said was, he's like, I don't want to spend 10 years in jail waiting to get executed. I want my sentence to happen as quickly as possible. I don't want any appeals. I don't want any more Sollozzo tricks. I just want to be executed.
And he really did. He wasn't claiming innocence.
He sued to have to waive all his appeals, and he was.
Did they do it?
He was executed. Yeah, firing squad.
Oh, that's some old school
Nonsense.
nonsense. What year is this?
In the 70s, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that he's the first person to do that. Or maybe just made headline. I mean, why wouldn't he just, this is kind of sad. Why wouldn't he just take his own life? He didn't have the guts.
No, I think part of it was almost just like he wanted them to accept the responsibility for killing him.
Oh wow! Okay,
like
so there's
some kind of stance where he
yeah.
was just like,
if
you're gonna kill me, kill me. Like,
yeah.
So
interesting.
Anyway, so it sounds like maybe that's what Pociccio did. He's like, once he confessed, he's like, and I want to be killed immediately.
Yeah. So his family could get the pension. Yeah. It's a great deal.
Like every month you get out, you get a 10% bonus. So the faster you do this thing.
That's how pensions are calculated. For every year of service credit, you get 1.3%. That really is how pensions are calculated. I got a few things from the book, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
A couple deleted scenes from the movie. Lucy is in Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah. I'll say she is.
It was Tom Hagen who arranged a job for her in Vegas, working in a hotel run by Sonny's brother, Freddie.
Oh, nice.
It was Tom Hagen who told her that she would receive an annuity from the Corleone family, that Sonny had made provisions for her.
So at this point in the story, it's known that she's carrying Sonny's bastard.
I think Vincent. So. Tom does ask her if she's pregnant. But I don't think it's clear.
Yeah.
If he knows, if they actually know that at that point.
I wonder if there are other Corleone children out there that Sonny,
that Sonny father
sprinkled around. Sonny or Fredo, for that matter. He's banging cocktail waitresses 2 at a time.
Maybe all of those kids in Kay's classes are all Sonny's kids, illegitimate kids.
Like a separate school just for the Sonny Corleone middle school.
I can hear the teacher calling off the attendance list. Frank Corleone, yeah. Sally Corleone, yeah.
Yeah, it would be something like their motto would be something like, "Don't go to school to become stupid."
Yeah, I guess none of those kids go to college, right? or they'd have those T-shirts like School of Hard Knocks or like Street Smart.
Yeah.
So Tom asked Lucy to keep an eye on Freddie.
Okay.
Let's see. But when Hagen asked her to keep her eyes open around the hotel, keep an eye on Freddie and on Freddie's boss, the man who owned and operated the hotel as a major stockholder, she said to him, "Oh, Tom, you don't want me to spy on Freddie?" Hagen smiled. "His father worries about Freddie. He's in fast company with Mo Green."
That's the first mention of Mo Green?
It might be. "And we just want to make sure he doesn't get into any trouble." Hagen didn't bother to explain to her that the Don had backed the building of this hotel in the desert of Las Vegas, not only to supply a haven for his son, but to get a foot in the door for bigger operations.
Yeah. They're being driven out of New York.
Yeah. Different kind of muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and finally, in the movie, Mikey goes to meet Kay at her school.
Mm-hmm.
In the book, it doesn't go down that way, Alex.
What happened?
Lucy.
Lucy.
Two more things about Lucy. I forgot to say. Lucy meets a doctor.
The vagina doctor.
Yeah, who operates on her, and they end up having a relationship. And it is the same doctor that Johnny Fontaine goes to for his weak voice.
Dr. Tattaglia. Wait a minute. So
I think that's how Lucy...
I'm almost afraid to ask. Is Sonny... no wonder his voice is bad. He's going to a gynecologist for his
yeah.
My voice is weak.
I can't do a Johnny Fontaine. I didn't even...
He's like,
Johnny Fontaine. It's almost a combination of Hagen and Don Corleone. Dr. Taza, why do you have my jaw open in these stirrups?
It's like one of those shut up and something.
Yeah, so Johnny, and then the book Puzza writes that Johnny Fontaine complains.
Shut up and swallow his tampon.
Oh, Johnny Fontaine complains about the doctor. He says, all he does is give me this codeine spray. It actually doesn't help my voice. Johnny! So Kay.
Kay Adams, as I live and breathe.
So Kay calls the house.
Uh-huh.
And Mama picks up.
Yeah.
And they're talking, and Mama says,
because wasn't there a scene where she tries to drop off the letter, and then she's like, well, can I call a cab? And then he's like,
she does
sure, come on in. And then Mama's there.
Mama says, you forget about him. Just go. Very heavy Italian accent. I'm not just stereotyping. Different from in the movie.
Yeah.
She says, you forget about him. Mikey gone. You forget about him. So Kay calls her up.
I think after 133 episodes, I think people either are already offended by our Italian accents or have stopped caring. Like they would have stopped listening 100.
You don't think we have new listeners dropping in on starting at minute 134?
With our new YouTube channel, it's possible people are just looking at the new ones. Yeah.
What do you mean the YouTube channel, Alex?
Oh, I'm talking about Godfather Minute on YouTube. You can get every single episode. You can watch it streaming anytime you want to.
Every single episode? Well, it's got to cost something.
Well, how much would you pay for something like that?
Boy, I'd pay up to $10 an episode.
It's less than that.
Really?
It's nothing per episode.
That is less.
You're smart. I like that.
So for each episode, we get nothing. Good day.
No. Yeah, so people should check that out if they want another way to listen to the show.
Yeah, we have some people subscried already.
Yeah, awesome.
So they get it sent right to their feed.
I notice our fishing, our data bank of fishing information is growing every single day. So thank you very much. Thank
also,
you.
if you want to invest now in Corleone Analytics, you go for it. We're getting all kinds of data on our listeners' preferences.
And if you get 5 other people to sign up, then you become a premium member.
Yeah.
And we get even deeper information.
Yeah.
So
you get the Madoff tier of benefits. If you sign up 5 more people. Get it out?
So I guess
Ponzi scam. Do you think Corleone was running any Ponzi scams? It's a great scam. Or maybe not, because in order for it to be successful, you have to have a lot. There's a lot of talk and interest in it. That's its strength, and you want to be on the down low when you're running rum out of Canada, right? Running molasses out of Canada.
Yeah, you want, well, preferably, I guess, the problem with Bernie Madoff is everyone thinks, he needed like a patsy or a proxy to.
That's the problem with Bernie Madoff, Alex.
Well, that was his mistake, is what I'm saying.
I see. Yeah,
you need a fall guy to pin it on in that kind of situation.
Like maybe if you had a lawyer with one client.
If I'm like a multi-billion, I mean, I don't remember the details of the Bernie Madoff thing, but I imagine he was pretty rich. So it seems to me if I got rich from conning people, I go, okay, it's like a bug out bag. You're like, okay, first thing I got to do is set up a fake identity. So if I have to flee the country, I can do so immediately without having, but then you're like, it takes so much, 3 to 6 weeks to find the paper. Oh, forget it. And then there you go. The earthquake hits and you're suddenly like, why didn't I get that fake identity?
Yeah.
So
I think he did all that, but the problem was his fake identity was just something like an anagram. It was like Murney Badoff. So they caught him right away.
I don't understand why aliases like they're always like that. It's like looking for Bob Jones, aka Bob Joan, aka Joan Bobson. Like they're all like, why do they pick names that are so similar so that it's
aka Robert Jonesy?
Yeah.
You're right.
That they're always
Is it
like,
just because through legal documents it's easier to stray one generation away from your real name?
I guess, or if like something happens, you're like, oh no, I'm Bob Robertson. You're looking for Robert Bobson. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I get that all the time, man.
Yeah, because you could show an ID that was believable.
Yeah,
with
that one. That's the only thing I can think of is that it's like could get creative with it for crying out loud.
No, I'm Alexander Robinson. There's a G in there.
There's a silent G in the middle.
Robinson. It's all Norwegian.
Just sprinkle a bunch of silent letters throughout. No one knows how to pronounce it. So they're like,
This is documented proof that I'm not Alex Robinson. Do you see these silent G's every other word, caret letter?
So anything to say about Kay? And
Yeah. So in the book. So anyway, to finish the story.
Oh yes, right. She goes to Mama.
Well, she
Mama.
calls up Mama and says, "Hey, have you heard from Mikey?" And what does Mama say? You know here? You know here? He no call you. He no see you. Mikey's been back 6 months.
What?
Oh, Mikey, you
busted.
So Kay is flabbergasted.
Uh-huh.
She passes out right then for another 6 months. No. And so Mama
Hey,
says,
how'd you drink?
Oh, we also learned in this that Mikey was Kay's first love. I'm winking at Alex because I didn't want to say them. I don't want to dirty up the podcast.
Oh yeah. Well, we already talked about Johnny's doctor. So there's nowhere to go but up from
Yeah,
here.
that's true.
Well,
so
look at that.
so Mama
in
and
the 40s.
Yeah. So Mama invites Kay to the house, and that's where Mikey and Kay end up connecting.
How awkward.
Yeah, a little awkward. And she goes up and hugs him, and he's still in pain, I guess, in his face.
Yeah. She hugged his face.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think she kissed him, and he kind of grunted.
Yeah, he's short, so maybe she went to hug him.
Oh, okay, stop it. So the question for you, Alex, is because your fans want to know if you
Who is the real Alex Robinson?
Is the real Alex Robinson?
Your fans want to know if you were going to try to reconnect with Kay or you were Mikey, how would you do it? Would you wait for her to call you like Mikey did in the book? Would you meet her at the school like you did in the movie, or some other creative way?
I would do it more like I would do it in a more creative way. Like I would register at the school as a student and then like sign up for her class. And then she's like, Carson, John, Corleone, Mikey, what? Yeah. And then you like put on YouTube, GodfatherMinute.com, go to YouTube. Yeah, I think that's what I would try, or like maybe jump out of like a cabinet or something.
Yeah. Oh, Mikey, adults don't enroll in elementary school classes. You're being naive.
I would maybe do a fake funeral, that whole trick. And then everyone else there would be in on the joke, and you'd be laying in the casket, and then when Kate came to walk by, you'd be like,
has anyone ever done that? Is there any documented case of someone pulling that joke?
I don't know.
That's a long con. That's a very long con. Because they get buried and everything. It's years later, right?
Wow. They stage some crime. Like, we have to dig up the body. We have to dig up his body. And then they dig it up and you're like, surprise!
They have
booyah!
all dust coming out of his mouth. Booyah! Can I get a drink of water? So do you think it's better, the book version or the movie version, how Mikey reconnects with Kay?
I think the movie version is stronger.
Yeah.
I think because it's Mikey's the one being proactive as opposed to her showing up on his doorstep.
Yeah.
He might not even, he's like, Mom, I'm in my robe, like you might not even be ready. This way he picks he shows up on black and he has the limo driver and everything. It's,
In the book, it was awkward because when she walks into his room like his little kid in his mom's house, he is looking through his wedding photo album.
Oh.
Yeah. You busted.
I thought his face was...
Say it with me, Alex.
You busted. I thought his face was still going to have like all the gunpowder from the explosion, like from the car blowing up. This is the first time we've seen him since the car blew up. So
he's got all pictures of Kay from years ago now, but he has little pictures of Apollonia kind of pasted over Kay's face.
Oh.
It's some weird stuff.
That is really creepy.
But Puzo does write in the book how Mikey explains that he didn't go and meet Kay when he got back because he didn't think that she would have waited and wanted to be with him.
Well, yeah, that's what's unclear. Well, maybe we'll get to it, but I'm surprised he didn't go sooner. Like, something must have happened that he said, oh, maybe she doesn't want to stay with me.
In the book or the movie?
In the movie. Clearly in the book,
you're right.
she goes to him. And
you're right, because in the movie, he is back that long, doesn't he?
He's back a year.
Back a year?
Yeah. I think we find out in the next minute that he's been back a year.
Maybe it took him that long to get over Apollonia.
Maybe. I'm surprised he didn't lead with that. Well, she's like, how long have you been back? He's like, oh my gosh, I don't know how long, like a year and a half, but after I got married and everything. Like, what? Sure, I tried to kill that police officer. You killed a police officer? Oh, I'm sorry. Bociccio killed the police officer. Wink, wink.
We have a signed affidavit here. It was Felix Bociccio.
So I guess that'll wrap up minute 134. Mm-hmm. We got to rate it now.
We got to rate it.
It's a tough one.
You got a little bit of Brando.
Yeah.
You got Hagen exemplifying his stupidity,
incredulous nature. You mean Tattaglia? All right, I got mine. Ready?
Yeah.
Uno, dos, tres,
cuatro.
Oh.
I went 4.
All right, yeah.
Because we joke so much about that.
It was Barzini all along.
Tattaglia's a pimp. It was Barzini all along.
Yeah, that's true. Those are 2 great lines.
It was really like a 3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not trying to sell it.
No,
I'm not trying to sell it.
I could, I'm not going to argue with
what
anyone's
it is.
ratings.
Yeah.
If you're within 1 star of each other, you can't really argue too much about it'd be different if you said 5 and I said 2.
Yeah,
then we have a discussion.
Yeah, then we have a discussion.
But 3
because
and 4
Alex, turned out it was 5 stars all along.
All right, so I guess that'll wrap up minute 124. If you're
34.
So, I was talking about 24. Let's start over again.
Back. I wouldn't mind that because it gives me another 10 weeks to write the next damn song.
That's true.
Can I make it really simple? Just kind of a drum beat and have Hyman Roth rapping?
You're the musical director, whatever you want.
You want to collaborate on it? You want to do a rap?
Sure, totally.
Because we've been talking about that.
Well, we can't have Hyman Roth, though, because Hyman Roth's in GF2.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Although we could have Hyman Roth rapping about Mo Green. Oh, no, we've already done the Mo Green.
Yeah, we could have Mo Green maybe when he gets shot, but I feel like that's yeah.
All right, we'll work on it.
Maybe the last thing we should do, the last song, or it would be, like setting up things we're gonna see in GF2.
Yeah,
like
all the unanswered questions.
Yeah, sneak previewing all the new, Frankie
like
5 Angels and Hyman Roth
cool.
and Johnny Ola and
that's fun.
So let's see.
That's great. I love that idea.
And in the Godfather Minute, the musical, that's the intermission. Is right before we switch to GF2. So,
or I guess it could. Well, the musical could end, and then
musical never ends.
Well,
man.
but then there's sort of a big question mark. The last song sets up the sequel, but you don't have to have the sequel.
Yes, right.
Maybe
exactly. That wraps up minute 134. A mere 7 minutes from when Mo Green comes onto the stage.
Check us out on Facebook, Fredo Corleone's Mickey Mouse Nightclub, and on YouTube. Leave us a comment, share it with a friend.
Yeah.
Just don't wait a year like Mikey did.
Yeah, share it with your buffers.
Make your move.
All right, so we're going to go record some bonus content. So until next time,
Tattaglia's
a pimp.
It
Well, I
was
just realized today it was Barzini all along.